Hey, yo, yo, yo. How we doing today? Hope everybody's doing good. Everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's families are doing good. Hope everybody's families are doing well. Let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and upload my ranks to DraftKings. Or from DraftKings to the Patreon. And then you guys can draft along if you want to. Let's see here. Where is it? Is there any changes I want to make? I'm going to move for a small tweak there. I did my ranks at lunch today, so should be too far off. Anything? Not like huge changes from last week. Like this is time where I really don't move too much. I don't reset. I realize that I shouldn't be doing that all the time. I should stick kind of what I kind of like, and if there's an egregious error, I can adjust from there. I will say today, listening to the ship chasing guys, they do not like. Just want to say I have a lot of respect for you chasing your dream. Thanks, man. Thanks, Flake. That's my guy. Coming in with that 100% positivity. Love it, man. Appreciate it. Let's do it. Yeah, we've gotten since Saturday. We got another 2 subscribers. So like we're going places. I feel like I didn't want to be that guy, but it really does seem to work when I ask for subscribers. It does seem to go up. I don't know. I feel awkward, not awkward, just rude asking. Like I feel like a guy on the side of the street asking for money. But I mean, honestly, it does work when you ask. I'll do it as politely as I know how to, so nobody feels offended or don't appear so. Right now, it's just double checking, making sure we don't go too far. And here, I'm gonna bring in another tie. I want to bring Dawson Knox up to the draftables. I'm getting Discord messages left and right all of a sudden. Put him right next to Dawson, to Bellinger. All right. Go ahead, save this. Download. Patreon. Create text. Add attachments. 7-8. Today's 7-8. Ranks. Ranks 7-8. Bop, bop, bop. Ranks are uploaded. Publish. Bada bing, bada boom. Alrighty. 2 minutes, we'll jump into a draft. Yeah, you've gained at least a couple hundred subscribers since then. I've been following. Yeah, dude. I had a huge spike last year, right after the stream I did where the 25 hours, and then I had like amazing guests on like Davis Pang and Megan Shalp, Pat from the Pounders, King Cap. Like I had all these great guests on like right afterwards, and it's like. What am I doing? I am depositing some moolah. I am not depositing. Why is the recommended 2,500? Why is that a thing? Who is that recommended to? That's just silly to me. It's just silly. All right, in 1 minute, we'll be doing the ranks versus the lobby. where I upload my ranks. I take whatever it gives me. It gives the advantage to the Patreon subscribers where they can know my ranks and see what I'm going to pick. And if they want to, they can try to draft around it. If not, they can, that I'm auto drafting and probably in a good value, but I may not have correlated teams. I'm going to do what 50 some odd days left till the season starts. So I got 8 of these that I'm going to do. So 9-10, jump in, boys. Water's nice and warm. 7 of 12, 7 of 12. Then go ahead, present, share screen. Yeah, you've definitely been one of my early subscribers. You, Dennis, Michael Kaya, Derek, obviously. Yeah, you've been since day one. You guys have been there. I don't know if he subscribed to me, but Terrence Charles was one of my first people that was always in my chat. I haven't seen him around a hot minute. He likes to disagree with me. I had a bunch of good people join the last year's 25-hour stream and have been here holding it down with me too. And then this year, I got one of my I've had Jose, one of my newer subscribers. Like, man, he chats me up. I like it. I don't have too many people chat me up in my Twitter inbox. I got a couple people now. I got him, Mr. Steven, and recently a new guy, Dylan, which I'm gonna be on his channel. I think it was he's got a triple S name of his channel. I hit the sub button today. I don't remember what it's called though. Let me pull up my YouTube. Something Spunky Sports Spectrum. I'm gonna type that in. Spunky Spectrum Sports. I'm gonna be on his channel tomorrow for his birthday. Yeah, we're usually the main folks. Although I did disappear for a couple months' time with my CPA test, but those are all finished. Hey, man, everybody's got their own thing. I'm not gonna judge anybody for what they got going on. Of course, I can't seem to get a front half of the draft today. So in the draft, please let me know before the 6th round so I can read your team off at the end if you are here. Had that awkward issue yesterday where you wanted me to read the team. I'm like, I already finished, and you didn't say anything the entire time. Burke is 27-28 at the one hole. MCO 23. Danny C 45. Pick 386. Sounds like we're. Is that Jets hat? Okay, so we got Jets, Packers, BA, DraftKings. You got Trey here, UFL. I think that might be a Pokemon Go symbol, but I could be wrong. Trey K 17. We got D Jacked. Maybe I can't tell if that's a Huskies or I'm not really sure what's on that. D Jacked and at the 7. Ian Garf at the 8. D Barlow 87 sounds really familiar. Master Ortis, Master Tortoise, Moi at the 11, and Murph 513. Maybe it's because I had a college classmate named Derek Barlow. That's why I think that Barlow sounds familiar. Not missing this episode. Yeah, look, this is the episode. If you guys have any questions, this is time to shoot them, and I'm happy to answer. Obviously, this is kind of the dead period of the year, but I also needed to download that. I wanted the Artlist.io. How do I find the one I liked? My library? I started some, but I don't know. Clips, songs. There we go. I want to download some Jingle Bells. I'm going to upload this one. We're going to listen to some Jingle Bells as we do the draft, and then I'll start going. Reading that. So give me a second. Adding a song. Add music. We're going to get a little Jingle Bells in here. Whenever it's done uploading. Processing. Anyways, well, when that gets going, I'll hit play. We got CMC. Oh, I need to put myself on auto draft. Where's the auto draft button? All right. There we go. Tyreek Hill, ASB, Jamar Chase at 5, Bijan at 6, Justin Jefferson at 7, Breece at 8, AJ Brown, it's a little loud, Puka at 10, Garrett Wilson at 11, me, and Gibbs at 12, which probably means I'm going to get a London share or a Taylor share here. I think that's how this goes. Oh, London. This is probably my most common start from the 11 and 12 spot. Unless Gibbs falls to me, it's the combination of Garrett Wilson, London, and Gibbs. Those are like my 3 favorite people at the end of the first round. So it's gonna 90. If I'm at the end of the draft, it's 90% gonna be some sort of combination of those 3, unless somebody falls from the front end, and that way, in that essence, I will get somebody from the front end. Oh, this is a big wide receiver room. No shenanigans today. Puka and Marvin Harrison. That is a combo that Mr. Christopher Spags is looking to get more of. It's a good week 17. It's the CD ASB route, except I don't believe is ASB is on this is better or is worse than Marvin. I don't see Marvin Harrison at the same level as Amon-Ra was that year. I think we're overvaluing Marvin Harrison. I think he's going too high. That he's going to go in the same exact spot next year, and I don't think that it's going to pay off. Well, I've got another thing in the Discord. What is going on? I joined a new Discord, and Mr. Neil Orfield's Discord. They're popping off in there. Yeah. See here. Hey, everyone. Neil Orfield just posted a video. Go check it out. Playing for keeps with Nez from the Batch Bros. Noise. So that's love Nez. Love Neil. So all good. All right. Is that done? Stop being tagged now. Obnoxious. I am not a Discord guy typically. Okay, so after London went Marvin Harrison to the Puka, Nico Collins went to AJ Brown, Breece Hall, Chris Olave, Jefferson, Waddle. I got Waddle in the 4th round earlier in this part of the season, but maybe those teams aren't good, so maybe. Who knows? Bijan and Devontae, that's a good start. Fan of it myself. Chase Taylor, grades. Kyren, you've been kind of looking at Kyren later. So not that I think it's a bad pick. I think it could work out. I just think people would have that combo with like a Neighbors or Devontae Adams. I just feel like maybe you do like both of these running backs. You wanted both of them. So it easily could work. So there's no complaints there. Malik Neighbors goes to Tyreek, but they also drafted Devontae Smith. Both Laporta and Kelsey went off the board at the 3-1, 3-2. Ayuk. Okay, so see the number 1 drafter knows about week 17 is going CMC, Brandon Ayuk, Laporta. I'm curious because I have noticed that unless they're accidentally doing it, more drafters are doing week 17 correlated games. when before, like, I mean, I luck boxed into like the game that like my team that won it, like luck boxed into like 7 correlated games. You know, like everything was correlated in some way, shape, or form, except for like 2 players. Nice. Cup going to that Jefferson Waddle Cup team. That's a nice team. So I think I have like a version of that, like, but flipped. So, like I'm saying, it doesn't really matter. You got good players. Metcalf goes off the board. Pittman goes off the board. So I don't have to worry about Pittman. Pittman will probably be one of my selections here. I've been getting a lot of him as well. Diggs in the 3rd round? I'll take it. Oh my goodness. Discord again. Great by draft, maybe? What's going on? Why am I getting the beep sound? How do I turn off the beep sound? User settings. I don't know. I don't know how to get rid of the beep sound. Lamar Jackson, Zay Flowers combo. 1 wide receiver through 4. It's gonna be tough to come back from, but don't mind the start. And I got DJ Moore, also another player that goes in the 3rd. So I'm not gonna complain about this team. I'm not complaining. It's a 0 RB start so far. 2 week 12 buys at a 14 and a 7. So you're already kind of making up for it right there. As long as we get one more of another number, we should be good to go. It's not 12. Oh, I was going to change. I didn't do it this time, but from here on out, I'm going to put the winning one of my DraftKings, because currently it's set to 3-6-8-3, I believe. Next week, we're going to put it to a 3-5-10-2. And that's how we're going to auto draft the rest of them. That was the winning formula for my team that won it. So this time we're going to go stick with the 3-6-8-3, but next week we're going to go with the 3-5-8-2 or 3-5-10-2. Or I should say next Monday. Also, Christmas is my favorite time of the year, not only because I love Christmas, but my kids love Christmas. And that's playoff football for us. Like, there's nothing better than being in a pod thinking you've got a shot Christmas morning. Nothing better than that feeling. And Najee, I'm just saying, bringing me the presents that day, baby. Like, let's go. I believe that's week 17. Let's see here. NFL. Week 17. Yeah, Wednesday, Christmas Day. We got Najee versus the Chiefs. And hopefully they keep it close. And if it's close, that's more work for Najee. They blow them out, that might be more work for Warren and Pickens. But maybe. We'll see. We'll see what Arthur Smith does. Yeah, Christian Kirk, Jalen Hurts. So Lamar Jackson was the first quarterback to go off the board, but it doesn't matter if this is like one of your only drafts. So I don't mind the pick. Mahomes, Hurts, Allen, Mahomes, the next 3 quarterbacks, but not in a row. Pickens, Kirk, Tank Dell. Surprised to see Kirk go ahead of Tank Dell, just a little bit. CJ Stroud goes off the board. Said he didn't have any of the pieces. Not quite sure why he went that route. Am I missing something? No, he just took it to take it. That's something we got to worry about here. He was a little off kilter with taking Kyron in the second. Now goes a naked Stroud with the only thing the option to fill it up with is Schultz, and Schultz would be kind to say like not the greatest piece you want. In this scenario, he should have gotten Schultz later and then gotten Goff and played off that game. Cade goes off the board. Man, the tight ends were flying off the board in this one. I will not be getting a tight end, most likely. An early tight end. Hollywood Brown. Well, thankfully, we are capped at 8 wide receivers, so we know we're at least getting one in the 9th. Now, we're going to get one in the 7th, 100%. It's going to be Najee. Let's see here. Yeah. Can't scroll down here because I'm not there. Can I make my head smaller real quick, though? Let's see here. There we go. So yeah, I'll be on with the Spunky Spectrum Sports tomorrow. He messaged me, said can you join for my birthday stream? I said sure. So I'll be over there tomorrow. What do we get? We got Jaden Reed. Okay. Stream's giving me nice wide receivers. I think I'm just going to miss out on Rashee Rice. I faded him, and now at this point, I just need to accept the fade, and if he blows up, he blows up. He's just got to be a fade from here on out. I have to hope that he's just not that guy. He could be. He could absolutely wreck us, but to be fair, they brought in Hollywood, Kelsey, they brought in Xavier Worthy. Then again, the year that Tyreek had troubles, they brought in Mecole Hardman. Or no, they brought in Chris Conley. Was it Chris Conley or Mecole Hardman to subjugate the loss that they were going to have? But then when Tyreek came back, they just dismissed the other player. But I think Hollywood Brown's a good enough player to hold his own. Double the tight end. We got another beeping sound. Just closed it. I don't know. Can I put myself on busy? I don't know if that works, but I put myself on busy or sleep mode. Keon Coleman going this early, it just feels wrong to me, but maybe it's not because Ladd and Rome go here. It's kind of where he goes. So I tested this out earlier. One of my teams was good, and one of my teams just got awful. I made one tweak, and that was like the first team was bad, and I made one tweak and it was good. But I think it was just like luck of the lobby. I did it on the $5 drafts. That one's a little bit smaller. And I ended up getting quarterbacks early, but I moved them back just a couple picks on each one of them, which is probably why I didn't get any so far. But at this point, I'm a little nervous. It looks like I might end up with like a not Sam Darnold. It could be a Brock Purdy, Jordan Love situation coming up here. Obviously, this should be my guy Najee, unless somebody takes him. Because the 7th round is for Mr. Najee Harris. Man, a cup of hot chocolate, watching kids open presents, and then I get my present watching Najee Harris run all over the Kansas City Chiefs with the bring back of Hollywood Brown. It's going to be a great day. It's going to be a great Christmas, guys. It's going to be a great Christmas. Did the Mahomes guy get anybody? Mahomes could have gotten Xavier Worthy there. So he's just going to stick with Kelsey and be happy, I guess is what he's saying. A lot of my drafts have been going very quickly. I would get off the stream and it's like, 53 minutes. I'm like, well. Though I don't know how exactly I don't have more hours watched. Najee Harris, my guy. Don't really quite understand YouTube. I think I have to. It's watch time of not live videos, I guess. Whatever. I feel like I barely got Najee Harris there because like Aaron Jones, Sam Swift, Stevenson kind of goes right. He does. White goes around here. He does. I think Montgomery was kind of a steal where he got him in comparison to the other selections at running back. I'm pretty sure Connor's like one pick before him. What do we get? Kyler Murray. We don't have anything to correlate with that, but that's okay. He's a naked quarterback. I don't mind grabbing. Right, I didn't grab him, but no, I didn't grab anybody. Trey McBride went super early. Yeah, if the Joe Burrow drafter doesn't go Joe Burrow the next 20 picks, he will be my selection, I guess. My next one. J-Mo, he's got that little stack. Did he get AJ? Yeah, he got AJ Brown, I bet. Yeah. So the best draft probably so far is between D. Barlow and maybe D. Jacked. It's close between him and Danny C. Personally. That's why in case one is. Between those three for the best draft so far. So this guy's taking a lot of good values. Just that the double tight ends with like one reason I don't give it a higher grade. That's just no, I don't care for that. Oh my God! Just one. Hey. Jaden Daniels goes before Joe Burrow. That's not right. I know Spags would disagree with me. I don't think that's right. Jason, Dubs, Mostert. So Love is still out there. That might be. Hopefully, who falls to me? It's going to be him or Purdy. I know it. Sutton. Cam Sutton from the Steelers got suspended for something. I saw on X for half a second before I got on. Of course, my work's got me working lots of overtime, so I got home a little late. It's got everything delayed by just a little bit, guys. So I apologize for any inconvenience of time. I wish I knew where these places were that Google shows me on my TV. It's really pretty there. Jordan Love goes to the Dak Prescott guy. Palmer. Wait, did the quarterback for the Bears? He hasn't gone off yet. Now, do I have him ahead of Purdy, or do I have Purdy ahead of him? I do not remember. They're very similar, in my opinion. In my eyes. In my opinion. There was 2 whole rounds without a quarterback. That's impressive, guys. Impressive. Felix, did you immediately start maxing out best ball leagues when you started playing these tournaments? No. I, in fact, started with the lower dollar tournaments. I did one $20 tournament that year, the first year. The very first year, I remember it so clearly. I was doing drafts I spend a lot of time on DraftKings, and it was like just checking out. It is Brock Purdy. I was just hanging around. I saw this, and then one of the people I idolize and I appreciate him for being like a steward in all this is Alex Baker, Osimo from Stochastic. The guy just pulled up a best ball stream. He did it with some lady and another guy. They did a draft together, and I was like, oh, this is up my alley. I don't have to do any trades. I don't have to update. I can just Jared Goff. Oh my goodness, 3 straight quarterbacks. We're done at quarterbacks. That's nice. So yeah, I was watching them. They did a stream. I was like, oh, I could definitely beat them too. Like they can't use. This is before overlays and all these little extensions now that everybody has. And I was like, oh, I can outdraft these people. And so I did one $20. I believe I got 3rd to last or 4th to last. Didn't go well, right? And so I maxed out the $3.20 entry. And this is how I found this out. That I fell asleep right as one was about to start. It was taking forever because back then getting tournaments to fill took forever because nobody knew about it. Nobody knew what was going on or how to do it. Interface was terrible, right? And so I fell asleep right before the draft actually kicked off. Auto drafted the whole thing. I was like, ugh, that stinks, but it's not bad too. And then come to see the start of the season, I was unable to do any changes, or I couldn't, the team was unable to score any points. So if you do not do a single pick or do not affect your rankings, you will completely lose your team. Which is why I always do my rankings, and I always suggest somebody to get somebody's rankings just to put them in there, just because if for some reason you randomly get stuck in an elevator, and you had just joined a draft and you can't get out of it. At least you have the rankings of somebody else, and you won't get a complete 0. That's my opinion, but always have somebody's rankings. Anyway, so I learned that valuable lesson, which actually ended up helping me later on. I'll get there in a second. The $3 tournament, I ended up getting 1 into the second round, immediately lost last place in the second round. It was. I had a lot of Darius guys on all 20 of my teams, and he immediately got hurt. Was it week 3 preseason? Where he was running crazy down to off the Patriots, and I remember it was yesterday. And I got a lot of things right, but I got a lot of things wrong. A lot of them were middle of the pack. Obviously the one went on, but regardless, I had so much fun doing it, and I was constantly checking my teams. I'm not like these other people who a couple of years ago, everybody was like, oh, you don't want to check your teams, it's faux pas. Not me, honey. the year I won it, I won $50K May 29th in a basketball tournament. I won $52,000 with Chris Baggs and another Stochastic member. And I was able to max that tournament, and so I did that. I was just going every day. I did the $3. I still did the smaller ones too, but I did the $20, which is the last time they had done this, and I was just affecting my draft order every time, or my I was affecting the pre-draft rankings. I was doing my rankings every day, regardless, and just doing them over and over and over and over again. And so, like, I was like pretty comfortable with them. Obviously, it's around this time where I actually was on a big trip to Illinois, Nebraska, Minnesota. We traveled from North Carolina all the way through those places, and we were gone for about a month. So I had nothing really to do. Yeah, and then for sure, and they might give you better promos like they did last year. Like they would get one, get another one free. Like they did a couple of those last year. Like if you do two, you get another one free. Chase Brown, that's a good pick. 1 second, let me lower this screen. All right, so yeah, I was doing a bunch of drafts in the morning, which is how I came. I was doing them right before I wake up, or right before I wake up, right after I woke up at 6, 5. I would join the lobby, and then it would usually fill around when I was leaving for work around 5:30, and I would get to work around 6, and it would be the second round, and I had my rankings, and so it wasn't ever worry about it. Back then, though, I was super high on Derrick Henry. And Gabe Davis, that makes sense. Obviously, everybody who knows me, I'm high on Gabe Davis this year. I was able to get 40% Derrick Henry. I was very bullish on heavy stands early. And definitely more on the heavy fades. I had a couple shares of CMC, so I didn't want to be completely zeroed out because KC was the guy, right? But I hard faded. I had 0 of I think it was Kamara. I don't remember exactly who it was, but I had 0 of one of the top 2 running backs of Dalvin Cook. I had 0 Zeke Elliott, and I feel like I had very little, if none, of Kamara. I feel like he went early that year. I could be wrong. And I was heavy on the wide receivers in general. In fact, I think I had a team, listen to this team that I had. I think I looked at it the other day. I had CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Cooper Kupp, but my quarterbacks were so trash. I think it must have lost in the playoffs because of the quarterback play. But that wide receiver room, those 4 was I was looking back at it the other day, I was like, man, that was a crazy team. But regardless, so I was just doing it every day. I wasn't going into – I didn't go into any draft thinking about playoffs. Obviously, I looked at the pay structure every day looking okay, well, if I ever got into the playoffs and I win $1,000, that's what I was excited about. And lo and behold, I had a lot of teams, but none of them probably were stacked correctly, right? I had a lot of naked quarterback stacks. There was a lot of things I did wrong that year, but regardless, that's not, no. But the same teams, okay, so I had 80 teams advance, right? And it went down to 13. But I think a lot of those teams that were from the 80 to the 13 were because they weren't perfectly correlated in the team stacks, and the teams that got through to the next round were mainly all perfectly stacked, but they weren't what the nuts / didn't get into the right pods. The pod luck, man, was absolutely wild because I looked at it the other day. It was 163. And if you guys know, you have to hit usually about 180 to 200 to get into the second round. Or like into the second round to the third round. And I had 163. I had 164 in the third round to go to the finals. So not only did I get lucky and get 163 in the first set of the playoffs, I had 164 to get into the third round to the finals. Which is why when I told that story to Eric Bonfor about like how I thought this was my worst team, it was because it scored so little points in the playoffs that I didn't. I was like, I had hopes that it would win, obviously, like everybody would, but like I wasn't like, well, I got a shot, but probably not, because going into that final week, Elijah Moore, COVID, Leonard Fournette had just landed on the IR. I think Chris Godwin was like 2 weeks before that, also had landed on the IR. So it was running out of players very quickly. Myles Gaskin was like one of my top. I only had 5 running backs, and Leonard Fournette was hurt. Myles Gaskin was one of them, and he didn't do too much that day. He actually did some throughout the rest of the season, but like that day he was god awful. Devin Singletary was one of my guys. It was a collective effort that dominated the rest of the league. You had to be so perfect. Who else was missing? I think Josh Reynolds was also IR that day. I had like 7 players not on the roster playing that day. Robert Tonyan was IR'd all season. In conclusion, I got lucky maxing that tournament, obviously, and I didn't max any other tournaments, like the underdog stuff, because I didn't know about underdog until like the week before the season started, like maybe 2 weeks before. Whenever Eric before put it on his stream, I found out about it. And the only reason I found Eric was because we were in a draft together, which is so wild to think that somebody I went to high school with was doing these drafts, and we end up in the same lobby. You know, like what's the coincidence? Which is why I always do like to read the names out, because you never know. I mean, not that like I know a lot of football people, but I know a lot of football people. Like those are all my friends in high school. Gabe Davis, and then we got Jalen Wright. Let's see where we go here. I think it's probably gonna be Ray Davis. Who's the other guy? Marshawn Lloyd? No, Marshawn Lloyd just wins. Yeah, this is probably gonna be Ray. If I had to guess. Did Adam Thielen go? Thielen already went. Okay. Do I have any tight ends yet? Yeah, this is gonna be 3 late tight ends. Ray Davis. Make sure you get Najee, goofball. I already got Najee. I got Najee. No worries, Captain. And actually, speaking of which, Najee wasn't a part of my core when I won the Millie. And I know a lot of people might think that he was a part of my big picture, but you know, he was just happened to be a happy mistake. But the reason I like Najee so much is I didn't get to see any of the year that I won it. I didn't get to see any of the games because I was on an airplane on the way back home. Again, I didn't think I really had a shot at the title. And so I'm on a plane on the way back home with my wife. And I'm obviously getting excited because I could see my number was going up. And so I tried pulling up the NFL Red Zone on the plane, but we're on the tarmac. There's like barely like any service. So like it's pixelated to pixelation. Like an orange box, was like you can see from the Bengals. Like I knew he was popping off, but I couldn't like see it. So like I would refresh before, like, and it would take like 30 minutes. But I saw that I was going up a little bit, and I would screenshot it, and so when I landed, we were up there, and so that was exciting. But regardless, I didn't get to watch any of the games with my players because when I got home, it was the Vikings and the Packers. I had 0 to any of those guys, and so I got home. I'm excited because I'm sitting in 8th place, and I look at everybody's. I'm like, just looking at everybody's rosters in front of me, and I'm like, oh gosh, like none of them can really put up any more points without me getting past them first. So like in my head, I'm like, all I have to do is worry about people behind me,
essentially, by like if they had like a few empty spots, because I had zeros. I had a zero at my running back spot, and I had Nick Chubb and Najee Harris. So I had Nick Chubb, Najee Harris going at the end. Not bad pick. Damn, your Najee bags are heavy. Yeah, it's not too heavy. It's only 94%. How many big tournament wins do you have? Let's say over 5,000. Big tournament? We'll take a pause for the story. Over 5,000? I'd probably say. So I have 1.4 million in earnings. Obviously, a big part of it's from the 1 million. I have taken down 50K 3 times, right? Basketball. Football. I've taken down 3 50K tournaments. I won 5,000 on a Rainmakers. That's the first thought that. I took down a Battle Royale last year for 20K. I've had a couple wins in NASCAR, but I don't remember any of them being over 5K. I can't remember if I had any more. Not that they don't, mean anything like as much, but sometimes you're just in the thick of it. Like I spent this much, but I only won this much money back. So I've had some break evens, even though I went over a certain amount. Today I won 5K week 1 NFL 6 years ago. So like 6 or 7, I've had 6 or 7 really big wins, but I've had like a lot of little wins. Oh, so yeah, I didn't get to see any of the games with Najee or any of the games that took me to the top of the leaderboard. But the only game I did get to see was Najee Harris and the Pittsburgh Steelers versus Nick Chubb and my DPJ shares. And Nick Chubb didn't really do much. DPJ actually did a little bit, but didn't really get involved enough to make the squad. But Najee Harris in that game was a man amongst boys. If you guys go back and watch Week 17, 2021-2022 season, and the boy is hurdling people, looks explosive, stiff-arming that poor man into oblivion. Like, you go back and watch that game, you will understand why I have an affinity for this man who won, not only did all those things to those people, but ended up taking me to the $1 million win. So you have to understand that's where that comes from. It may not be perfect, it may not be the best strategy, but that is why. And I do think that he's the best Week 17 player of all time. Like, yeah, Alvin Kamara had that one game where he had scored 6 touchdowns in Week 17. But the last 3 years, the 3 years that Najee Harris has been in the league, he's been top 5, if not even better, every single year. Just glad I only have 33 BBM5s to do and 68 DK millies. Almost done. Drafted out faux show. I'm actually like itching to draft. I haven't done enough in my head. Marvin Mims, okay. It's a little different. So I got a little Marvin Mims, Chase Brown action, little correlation picks there. We'll take it. Does DraftKings have a history of the tournaments you entered in prior years? Sort of. Not in a way you could check it on DraftKings, but if there was some way to access it through Fantasy Cruncher, where you could check the history of the tournament, and you could go back and look at but there's no way to check the best ball one, which is what drives me nuts. You can go back and check all the regular tournaments, but there's no way to go check all the best ball tournaments, because I would love to extrapolate my actual exposures, because people ask me all the time, well, how many blah did you have? And I'm like, I guess, because I don't really know. I always say upwards to 75. I know I had a lot of Colin Johnson. I know for a fact, I drafted him on every team at pick 200. I would always take him, right? But for my actual shares of Chase Cooper and Chris Godwin, I don't know that exact number. I know I try to do it on a lot of teams, and I know that when I try to do something, obviously when I try to do something, it shows. So, but there's no way to see exactly best ball tournaments. But you can do it through Fantasy Cruncher. But you have to have like the NFL premium package or whatever it is. I don't quite remember how to do it, but yeah, I have. Let's see here. I have 118 BBM5s to do, and I have 73 more DK Millies. And we may not do, if we don't hit the 500, we may not do the 25-hour draft, but we will do the few days of drafting before I go see my mama and celebrate her birthday with my niece. If we're not done that by then, we will then come back home and finish it through Labor Day. I don't know when this tournament's going to fill up. Honestly, I think DK may not fill up as fast. So come early August, depending on the speed of which these things are filling up. Obviously, I'm going to be gone the first weekend in August, like the 1st through it's like the 4th. I'm not exactly sure when we get back, but it's like 4 days out there in Myrtle Beach. But as soon as we get back, we're going to be grinding Underdog. And so there will be Underdog content on here. I do like to provide for the DraftKings users because they don't get a lot of shout out here. Everybody's up Underdog's butt sometimes, which is fine. Get your bread. But I personally like the 20 rounds. I think it's more fun. 20 rounds drafts are more fun. I did move up Mims and the rookie Troy Franklin. So I'm curious if I would have waited, I would have gotten Franklin there. So we're done at so this has got to be all tight ends, right? 3, 5. So one more running back and the 3 tight ends. So it's gonna be my tight ends that I always get probably. How did you guys feel about Jingle Bells? We found Jingle Bells for Mondays. I'm a big fan of Christmas. We find a different Christmas song. Roshan Johnson. Okay, so we're putting tight end here. And look, I don't think you have to agree with anybody, but man, I feel like I took a shellacking in the ship chasing Cruz tight end takes because I love Hayden Hurst, Bellinger, and Jatavian Sanders, and they pretty much on all 3 of those guys today. Well, that's fine. I'm not too worried about their opinion on being correct. Only one of them's only won $3. Was it? How much did he win? $2 million. Only one of them's won $2 million. Dude, Hurst is trash. Bellinger I like. Hurst, you go back and watch it. He's pretty good tight end over the middle. He's got good hands. I don't think he was ever. I think he's just a big slot. And if they play him out of the slot, because they brought in the other guy to block. If they bring in him to pass catch, I could see him being useful in the red zone area. But we'll see. I think he's a great, last 2 pick. I don't think he should be elevated. I think Noah Fant's obviously a better pick, right? But I don't think. Okay, my brain goes to Noah Fant because that's actually somebody I like. But I mean, Noah Fant's up here and then Hayden Hurst is down here. But there could be some weeks where they're on the same level, and I'm not looking for. Normally, I'd try to get an elite tight end to go along with my punts. This is obviously an auto draft versus the lobby, but I don't know. I like the touchdown upside of Hayden Hurst. It's not like there's this amazing target earner in Los Angeles. So I can see Hurst. Fant is trash too. I disagree. I think Fant is good. I think Fant had a quarterback problem in Denver, and had a coach problem in Seattle. And now that they cleared up some of the tight end trash, and they brought a new coach in, I think he could excel. Not to say that Gino has eyes for him, but new offense could bring up new opportunities for Noah. I mean, he was a great receiving tight end coming out of Iowa. When is that, when is that a bad idea? What tight ends do you like, Mr. Asama? Hurst stinks, and he always. Well, last year, I mean, let's be honest. Last year, I would give him a bye year just because the Panthers took a bye year. 2022, 52, 414, and 2 touchdowns. I mean, that's for a last round pick. That's not terrible. Not great, but it's not terrible. 2021. Yeah, it sucks. Who was he with that year? Was he with he ended up getting hurt that year with the Bengals. 2020, 56, 571, and 6. That's not bad. Like, they're average. They're not great by any means. Obviously, the 2018 was pretty bad. Is that his rookie year? See, he was on his way up until he went to... that 2021 was when he was on the Falcons. And so he got kind of shit on that year. Yeah, I just think like this is his opportunity to finally excel. That's my opinion. I have a lot of Likely and Conklin. I like the Likely. I just worry about like, are they going to run enough of him to get it going? Yeah, so I could have told you what my tight ends were going to be here. Though I did move Knox ahead of Hurst today. I did get persuaded by ship chasing guys like that is right, and I've always liked Knox that I should have him above. So 1 good year in 6 years, the jury is in. I disagree. All right, like I just disagree. I don't think. I think he was having a good year with the Bengals, and then he landed on his hip and he got really hurt. I don't know. I think there's been some weird injury fluky years, and then when he had a good year, I saw him elevating his game, and then he got put with Kyle Pitts, which probably hurt his mental game a little bit, hurt his pride, and then went to the Bengals, was kind of popping off, then got hurt in that. I can't remember if it was the Chiefs game or if it was the Ravens game. Regardless, he got hurt. Kind of wasn't the same after that for like the rest of the year. Went to the Panthers, and God, were they hot trash. And so, like, I think this is his maker to break it type year. He's got low competition around him. He's got an offense where he's been in it. There's not a developing tight end underneath him. It's his job for the taking. They brought him in there, so clearly they wanted him there. He is the veteran tight end. I think he's got a shot. I think he's got a shot to get some playing time. Some good playing time and some potential touches and touchdowns. We'll see. All right, let's go ahead and read off the team. And then we'll read off a couple of the competitors. So we got Gary Wilson, Drake London, Stephon Diggs, DJ Moore, Hollywood Brown, Jaden Reed for 6 wide receivers to start. And then we know what the 7th round is for. It's for Mr. Najee Harris, Kyler Murray, Brock Purdy, Jared Goff, Chase Brown, Gabe Davis, Jalen. Is it Jalen Wright? I don't know. My brain's. Yeah, Jalen Wright. My brain went on a head of fart. Ray Davis, Bucky Irving, who Chris Baggs has pushed me on Bucky Irving. Not pushed me specifically, but like has talked him up so much that I've kind of bought in a little bit. Marvin Mims, Roshan Johnson, Jatavian Sanders, Daniel Bellinger, and Hayden Hurst. I don't know, man. This is a pretty fun team. Like, RB1, perfect. RB1, he is him. RB2, we got a nice selection of running backs. I don't know if any of them are going to be the guy, but they could be. Quarterback, we got Kyler, and we got 2 solid floor guys. Tight end, we've got 3 shots, and who knows? You're telling yourself a wish casting narrative and on Hurts, which will be able to bite you in the ass. But I had Colin Johnson in the same area, and I still won it. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to hit on every pick. Every pick doesn't even have to put points up. I mean, Robert Tonyan put 1 week's worth of 11 points or 17 points 1 week, in the week 4 when Gronk was on bye or whatever it was, and that those were only the points he attributed to that team. You don't always have your players don't actually even have to attribute to the team. And yes, I might be wish casting, but I am also a Chargers fan. And I've always liked Hayden Hurst. I do have like 40 shares of Hayden Hurst and Rainmakers, so I can sell those bad boys for 3 cents. I'm an Ingram and Njoku. Ferg. I hate Ferg, but I don't think he's a athletic tight end. I had 70% Ferg last year. Okay. Schultz, I like. Komet, I'm absolutely out on. Then adding in Kincaid. I like Kincaid. Laporte is good. Yep. I like all those tight ends as well. I'm not in on Kittle, but I get it. Likely Henry I like. I'm out on Jawan. And Woods, I'll never touch again. I had to see it. I had so much last year. It's so much Jelani Woods last year. It was so bad. I think I was at like 18%, 17%. How about Wisconsin? I watched him from there. Fucker is good. Knew he was good, and he showed it to everyone. It was on him. Ferg, yeah. I've never been on him. I'm kind of out on him, but I get it. If you like a guy because you saw it, who am I going to tell you? I'm in on Eric All and whatnot. So my bias for Michigan always there as well. So who am I going to be to tell you no? All right. So that was rankings versus lobby. Actually, let me double check. Make sure there are any crazy teams. 3692, 3683, 3593, 3593, 3692, 3683, 3683, 3683, 3683, 2692, 2774. Nothing too wild. Everybody, the one in 2774 had 2 late tight ends, so nothing out of the ordinary. That was actually about as tame of his draft as I've had in a long time. I'll say I'm on the top half of the draft for sure. The team turned out pretty good. Obviously, we're going to struggle at tight end, but if I get 3-4 points, I'll be okay with that because the rest of my team was pretty good. But I'll take the L. I'll take the L. You know what? I'll take the L this time. Last week we won. We won last week. This week we took the L. So if you want my ranks, obviously we took the L this week. It is $5 over the past Patreon /Best Ball Nation. We have exclusive interviews over there. I'm going to have a guest on next Tuesday for Best Ball for Know the Nation as well. And for this channel for next Tuesday, we're going to have I'll announce it later this week. We're going to do plenty of shows this coming week and whatnot. And obviously tomorrow I'm going to be on a channel with Spunky Spectrum Sports. I'm going to share the video, so be on the lookout for my Twitter. It's Crying Buffalo on Twitter, X. I'm going to, share his thing from there. So that way I have people coming in from there as well. Last 2 picks were Ferg and Woods and all. Yeah, I don't know, man. Had 80% Johnny Woods last year. Hurt my team's bad. Yeah, I had a lot last year. Not as 90%, but I had a lot. What else was I saying? So yeah, $5. You get. Oh, for all those that are part of the Patreon and Best Ball Nation, the Yahoo League is open up. I'm not saying it's filling fast, but if it does fill, that's the link for the 200 that you get for just being a part of Best Ball Nation. And then if we do fill it up, we'll have one for $100. But I gotta get the first one filled first. But like, just putting that out there. If you want to get in it, it is now time to start jumping in there. Or Jose's going to win it all. Currently, he's the only guy in there. $200 is currently going to Jose. All right. Well, again, I'll be back on Wednesday on this channel. Tomorrow I'll be over at the Spunky Spectrum Sports YouTube channel, and I will, again, tweet out the link to that tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that. Please hit the like, hit the sub. We're at 359. I'm trying to get to 500. If we hit 500, we'll be doing a 25-hour live episode. And later. Yep. Tell somebody you love them. It's been fun. It's been real. It's been real fun. Later.